whatever they want to create.
Again, the website's host says there is no evidence of a hack.
I don't feel comfortable at all. This is not...
You also claim to be studying at the Anderson Theological Seminary.
Yes, I did.
Currently working on his Master of Theology and Pastoral Leadership, according to the church's website.
We called them, you're not enrolled there, and you enrolled in 2008 and never advanced.
Right, but you know how old this is? This has been updated. I think there's an updated profile on me that's on the website.
So is it old or is it tampered?
These are old information. This is extremely old information.
Seconds later.
This is thank you so much. I really appreciate you coming. You just take this.
Pastor Burns walked out, leaving us in his church.
He actually walked out to his van and drove off. Now, you heard in that interview that Pastor Burns blamed those inaccuracies on hackers and then Photoshop and then the media. Well, he's now released a statement. Let's put it up. As a young man starting my church in Greenville, South Carolina, I overstated several details of my biography because I was worried I wouldn't be taken seriously as a new pastor. This was wrong. I wasn't truthful then, and I have to take full responsibility for my actions. Now, since that time, I should have taken steps to correct any misrepresentations of my background. We all make mistakes, and I hope that the measure of my character and the quality of my works speak for what kind of person I am. He also went on to say this. I do also want to set the record straight about why this attack is happening, because I am a black man supporting Donald Trump for president. For too long, African-American votes have been taken for granted by Democratic politicians, and enough is enough. It's a shame that the political insiders and the media choose to attack me because I'm not going to stay silent about Hillary Clinton's pandering to our community. Instead, I'm going to tell people that there is another option, an option that represents a positive vision that will unify our country. That's why I have and will continue to tirelessly support Mr. Trump. That's his full statement. I want to bring in now Boris Epshteyn. He's a senior advisor to the campaign. Boris, good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon, Victor. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you, Boris. Let me ask you the first question here. How did the campaign vet Pastor Burns?
Thanks, Victor. You know, I was not affiliated with the campaign when Pastor Burns started his affiliation, which, by the way, he was not an employee of the campaign. He was a volunteer. So when he started helping out, I was not a part of the campaign, so I can't speak to that. But I will tell you that we have very strong vetting standards in place now. And there was a story out yesterday, I believe, about the fact that we have all people affiliated with the campaign sign NDAs. So, you know, that's a question for folks other than me. But here's what I will tell you. It's very interesting.
Well, let me ask you this. I'm going to let you finish that answer. But I submitted this question about vetting 2 days ago. And when the campaign offered someone to answer questions, my hope was that they would be able to answer the only question I asked.
So my answer to you is we vet everybody who becomes affiliated with the campaign very thoroughly, and we know everything about them. And now
what does that entail?
Oh, what does that entail, Victor?
Yeah.
Well, that entails going into their background, et cetera, et cetera. But again, Victor, we're at 35 minutes into this hour. You just spent about 8 minutes destroying the career of this individual, of this volunteer, and you haven't once focused on the fact that Hillary Clinton has been lying to the American people, lying to Congress, purging herself from Congress.
Listen, we've only got 3 minutes together, and this is a 24-hour news network,
spent 8 minutes
and it's a 6-minute story. Let me get to the next question here. How has Donald Trump responded?
Donald Trump doesn't have to respond to this. This is about the two candidates, about Hillary Clinton versus Donald Trump. Donald Trump is in Detroit today, reaching out to African-American voters, with whom, by the way, he's doing better than any Republican presidential candidate in recent history. We should be talking about the issues facing the African-American community, not talk about the background of one volunteer.
Did he take
That's
Pastor
what we need to
Burns
talk
with
about.
him?
Pastor Burns is not in Detroit, as far as I'm concerned.
Okay. So Pastor Burns helped to facilitate this. When the announcement came out that Donald would be going to Detroit, this came from Mark Burns through the campaign. Mark Burns has been, by the definition of the word surrogate, a surrogate for the campaign, actually sitting in on the Faith and Family Forum in South Carolina.
He was a volunteer with the campaign.
Okay.
He was a volunteer with the campaign. He was not employed by the campaign.
Okay.
He's not part of the campaign.
All right, so will he stay on as a volunteer, flying on the jet, speaking at the rallies, and going to events with Donald
Victor,
Trump?
again, you are doing a disservice to the American people, my friend. They want to hear about Donald Trump versus Hillary Clinton. Hillary Clinton is sipping cocktails right now with Bon Jovi or Jimmy Buffett, while Donald Trump is out there talking to the voters, talking about issues facing the American people.
We have a limited amount of time here.
I know we do. That's why I want to talk about the real issues at hand.
But this is a man who was sat in your seat, defending Donald Trump on this network and several others.
And he just issued a statement, so you should refer to that statement.
He has introduced Donald Trump at rallies. He spoke at his convention. He has flown on the jet, and he announced this big day for the campaign through the campaign's website, released a statement from Pastor Mark Burns.
And Victor,
so this is someone who's close to the campaign. Will he stay on in that role?
Listen, he just put out a statement that he's made mistakes. He's apologizing for those mistakes. And again, we should go back to talking about the real issues here. 26% poverty among African Americans in this country. Over 8% unemployment, double of that of white people in this country. Those are the real issues that need to be fixed and will only be fixed by Donald Trump. Hillary Clinton has already failed, and that's why she's staying home,
Boris,
as she usually does, and not campaigning.
You make fair points, but we came here specifically to talk about this. This is someone that the campaign has relied upon. Will he continue to have a role in the campaign after the exposure and his confession that he lied about his military service, lied about
He's put out a statement. He's put out a statement.
I hear that.
He's
Will
apologized,
he continue to be involved with the campaign?
And as far as what happens from now on, you'll have to look and see. But I will tell you, here's what will definitely happen. Donald Trump will continue going to all cities, to all communities in this country, while Hillary Clinton will continue to concentrate on raising money and taking bribes.
Listen, that statement that you read, he did indeed say that it was wrong, that he wasn't truthful. He did not apologize to the voters. Do you think he owes an apology to the people that he misled?
Are you talking about Pastor Burns?
Yes.
Victor, come on, this is getting ridiculous. You should be talking about Hillary Clinton lying to Congress about turning over all her emails.
Boris, you knew what the topic was when you agreed to come and sit down with us.
She said that she used one device. She used 18 devices. You're concentrating on a volunteer.
Listen,
talk about the candidates.
We have several hours. Fred's here for several hours more, and we'll get to those topics.
You've played this segment on the hour, every hour. I've been watching.
Yeah, you obviously have not been watching.
You've given us a lot of airtime, and I congratulate you on the story. It's probably good for your career.
Boris,
but the bottom line is we're not concentrating on the candidates. That's what the voters want to see.
I've asked you 3 questions. You haven't answered one of them. Please pick
I've answered
one.
Each, I've answered
will he
each
stay
question,
on with the campaign?
Listen, that'll be determined going forward. He's a volunteer, so he's not part of the campaign.
All right. Well, Boris Epshteyn, I put the questions to you, and we have your answers. Thank you so much.
Yes, you do. Have a great day.
You too.
So Victor, Boris is essentially asking why put under the microscope people surrounding Donald Trump. Donald Trump has said from the very beginning of his campaign that he, if elected, he will surround himself with the best people.
Yes. He said that he will choose the best people. And this goes to the question of how do you choose those people? Mark Burns told me during that interview that there was no vetting. I asked him, was there any survey, any questions that were asked? He said, no, they simply liked my message and they liked my character. There was that meeting in November at Trump Tower with the 100 black pastors. After that, he says that Corey Lewandowski simply called him because Donald Trump couldn't go to the Faith and Family Forum at Bob Jones University, and he slipped in there in South Carolina and has been a part of the campaign ever since. I mean, he's admitted to these misstatements, and I think people take him at his word here. He was a young man who made a mistake. But at this point, for the campaign to not be able to say, yes, he will stay on, we forgive him and he'll stay, or he won't, I think that's something people deserve to know.
And Boris didn't answer the question, but did anyone else who is supporting Donald Trump say whether Donald Trump himself has reached out to Pastor Mark Burns? Because when there have been other advocates for Donald Trump who have gotten in trouble or their character or their track record has been criticized, Donald Trump has been quick to defend them. Has Donald Trump in any way reached out to Pastor Burns, or has he in any way, shape, or form publicly said something in support of Donald Trump directly? I'm sorry, in support of Pastor Burns.
What you just saw there was the first response we've gotten from the campaign. I put questions, that singular question of vetting, to the campaign on Thursday and had not gotten a response, and Boris came on. My hope was that he would have an answer beyond, we look into their background, et cetera, et cetera. But he says he wasn't with the campaign at that time. We understand he was a supporter who became a senior advisor, but we still would like to know what is the vetting process for the supporters that these campaigns